What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we're happy to share with you guys that they're going to be buffing two champions that desperately need it. I don't know how many must buff videos I've seen of these two champions, but the buffs are finally here. Definitely happy to see it. And also happy to see that Plarium has buffed two champions. So previously they said that they were thinking about changing it to buffing only one champion per month. This time they've buffed two champions, and hopefully they just keep with this kind of buff schedule instead of reducing it to one, which we saw last time. Anyways, without further ado, let's show you guys which champions we are buffing. So first up, we have Elegaius. So if you guys don't know what Elegaius does, he was a Halloween fusion, one of the first fusions I saw or completed when I first started this game. So he's very, very old. He's like at least 4 or 5 years old now. He really doesn't see too much play at all. And if you had him, the only place where he's probably okay was probably in faction wars against the boss, because the boss had the one-shot capability. So in this case, Elegaius has a passive that kind of gives him an extra shot at surviving. So you kind of use him as like the bait target against that boss. At least that's how I used it for my Faction Wars 21. So anyways, let's talk about Elegaius' new buffs here. So we got Spirits of Spite. It formerly was attack one enemy has a 25% chance of placing block active skills, and then you have a conditional chance increase. So it's going to get buffed into a 50% chance of placing instead of 25% chance. The turn duration also increases from 1% to 2%, but then you are losing the conditional chance increase for every 1% of HP this champion loses. Now, I don't even know if this is actually a buff. Yes, it's a buff. The duration is a clear buff, but you're getting a 25% increase in the base chance, which is great. But the overall, like, for example, the max chance that you could have with much lower HP is actually higher than 50%. So, for example, if Elegaius was under at 50% HP, then you'll be getting 0.75% multiplied by 50, which is 37.5. So 37.5 plus 25 is 62.5. So if Elegaius is at 50% in the live servers, he's getting 62.5% chance to land the block active skills, which is actually a higher percentage chance to land than 50%. So I wouldn't even call this a considerable buff. It's more like just very small balancing. Like, obviously after his buff, he'll be more consistent on the A1, but man, this is a really, really weak buff. So let's see, his dead stop ability, currently in live, it's attack one enemy, puts the target's skills on cooldown, also places block buffs for 2 turns. If the team has any duplicates, also put them, also lock out their skills and put block buff on them too. Kind of interesting mechanic there. So after the buff, he will now, instead of targeting the same type, he will now target the affinity. I mean, yes, it's a buff. It's a buff. It gives him the opportunity to be more useful against more waves. But man, this is hardly a buff, man. This is hardly a buff. Okay, it is hardly a buff. Okay, and his last ability currently is Ghost Rage. Attacks all enemies, 75% chance of removing 2 random buffs. Also has a 75% chance of decreasing all enemies' turn meter by 20%. Decreases enemy turn meter by a further 10% if for each removed buff. So up to 40% turn meter drop. So after the buff, attacks all enemies has a 75% chance of removing all buffs. Okay, so they just got rid of that 2 random buff, and then they changed it to remove to all buffs. They kept the turn meter drop stuff. I mean, yeah, some of these are buffs, but honestly, they're so insignificant. He probably needed like cooldown reduction on top of this. Like, he needed his cooldowns like dropped a little bit. But yeah, these are pretty weak buffs. It's not going to make him insanely good or anything like that. But there we go. Let me know if you guys are going to be pulling your Elegaius out of the vault to try him out. I mean, he still has block actives and he still has block buffs. Like, it kind of can work. But yeah, he's still a bottom of the barrel champion. So on to the next champion that they are looking into, and it's going to be Raglin. Raglin's probably one of the weakest voids, or at least one of the most power crept voids. So we were calling for a buff for Raglin for a long time, and it's really nice to see that she got a buff here. So first of all, Her Mercy ability currently removes all debuffs, so it's a cleanse on all allies, then heals them. The amount is proportional to this champion's attack. I believe it's on a 4 turn. There's no books going into it, which makes it a little bit on the weaker side. So, it's still cleanse, it's still heal. But I think the duration's a little bit outdated. So after the buff, they will be keeping the cleanse, and then she will also be placing increase accuracy and increase attack. And the heal is now proportionate to attack and HP. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I just want to double check Raglin's cooldown, how long it actually takes. I believe it's on a 4 turn, her cleanse, and it is on a 4 turn. She has 4 books going into it, and there's no duration decrease, so that kind of sucks. So it's a 4 turn team cleanse with increased attack and increased accuracy, and it's probably somewhat bigger with the attack and HP proportions. I really don't know if it instantly makes this move that great. Like, it makes it way better. Increased attack and increased accuracy also works really well with like bomb champions, for example. But I feel as a void champion with a 4 turn cleanse, you probably need something a little bit stronger to make this strong, but it's definitely much better than it is currently. So let's go back to the infograph here. Her revive ability. Miracle. So currently it can book down to a 2 turn cooldown. So that kind of what makes it special. It is a single target. But yeah, it's currently on a 2 turn cooldown. Well, after books. So currently it revives an ally with 50% HP and full turn meter. So that's basic. Ascended revives an ally with 75% HP and full turn meter. Also, the full turn meter fill on revive is very nice. So after the buff, she's, without being ascended, her ally revives an ally with 50% HP and full turn meter still happens. Actually, now it says 100% turn meter. So the wording is a little bit different. I believe there's a little bit of nuance here with the full description and the 100% turn meter description. I believe I slightly forget this. I believe full and 100, they could mean different things. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the terminology for the word full turn meter and 100% turn meter. So the ascended version of the skill after the balance, she will now also decrease the cooldown of all the revived allies' skills by 3 turns. So you pick up a champion, it has 75% HP, 100% turn meter, and cooldown reduction on all the abilities by 3 turns. Now, that seems pretty strong on a 2 turn pickup. So it's a 2 turn single target revive, and it's a very, very powerful revive. Yeah, I mean, this definitely is a solid buff for Raglin. I don't know if it makes her top tier or anything. It definitely doesn't. I think her kit's a little bit on the weaker side, but the revive is definitely very nice. She's also getting a brand new passive. This champion is immune to block active skill debuffs and cooldown increasing effects. So she cannot be locked out or have her skills locked out, which is actually pretty cool. That means she can kind of be a pretty consistent champion pickup. So she could be your, you could put her in like a 6-piece stone skin, let her get locked out, let your team get nuked, and then Raglin can pick up a champion, revive them, unlock their skills, and then they can come in with the 100% turn meter and then nuke the enemy team. So she has the potential to be a very, very strong go second type team. That's interesting. I like it. I like these balance buffs. I don't think this makes her like completely OP busted, but it definitely makes her a lot stronger. And I like that the new passive gives her the ability to be played a little bit differently than what we currently play her in if you use her. So I really like that. I think these buffs generally a little bit underwhelming, but I love the Raglin buffs because it doesn't break her, but it makes her way, way more usable in many different ways. Elegaius, on the other hand, I think the buffs are definitely very, very weak, but you know what? It's still a solid buff for him. He's not supposed to be a great champion. Not all rebalanced champions are supposed to be awesome, and I'm okay with that. Anyways, folks, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the new balance changes to Raglin and Elegaius. Thanks for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys in the next video.